Hi viewers, welcome back again to one more other lecture session from this channel. So in this lecture session we will be studying regarding properties of genetic material in detail. So it became a clear fact that in majority of the living organisms, here DNA is the predominant genetic material. And consequently in case of certain viruses, especially in case of bacteriophage and even in case of the tobacco mosaic virus, here RNA is the genetic material. So here you make it a small clarification. Why in case of the majority of the living organisms, here DNA is the genetic material. So here the answer to this question is very simple. Basically DNA is double stranded, but whereas RNA is single stranded. And in addition to this, DNA is highly stable and it is very less reactive in comparison with RNA. So the reason why in majority of the living organisms, here DNA is the predominant genetic material. Is it clear? So let me write it on the board. Majority of the living organisms has DNA as the predominant genetic material. DNA as the predominant genetic material. But in case of viruses, especially in case of bacteriophage and even in case of tobacco mosaic virus, here RNA is the genetic material. Viruses, especially in case of tobacco mosaic virus, and even bacteriophage has RNA as the genetic material. RNA as the genetic material. Is it clear? And in addition to this, the particular RNA, it not only it is having the genetic material activity, even the particular RNA, it can act as a template during the translation mechanism. And in addition to this, even the particular RNA, it can act as an adapter molecule in order to encode the biological information which is present in the mRNA during the translation mechanism. Is it clear? So let me write it here. RNA not only act as template during the translation mechanism, and even RNA also act as adapter. RNA also act as adapter molecule to encode the biological information, in mRNA during translation. Is it clear? And if you consider the structure of DNA and as well as RNA, in between the structure of DNA and as well as RNA, there are certain chemical differences. So here, what are the basic chemical differences in between DNA and as well as RNA here? In case of DNA, the particular pentose sugar, here it is nothing but what? Deoxyribose. But whereas in case of RNA, the specific pentose sugar, here it is nothing but what? Ribose. Is it clear? So let me write it here. In case of DNA, the pentose sugar, here it is nothing but deoxyribose. But whereas in case of RNA, the particular pentose sugar, here it is ribose. Is it clear? And in addition to this, in case of DNA, adenine, it base pairs with thymine. adenine, it base pairs with thymine. But whereas in case of RNA, adenine, it base pairs with uracil. Is it clear? So here these are the basic chemical differences in between DNA and as well as RNA. So here a specific molecule, in order to act as genetic material, it must and should possess some basic features. So here what are the basic features a specific molecule should possess in order to act as genetic material? Here a particular molecule, in order to act as genetic material, it should be capable to induce the production of replicas during the replication mechanism. Is it clear? So let me erase the things here. So here, as already mentioned, a particular molecule, in order to act as genetic material, should be capable to regulate the production of replicas. During the replication mechanism. Then in the same way, a particular molecule, in order to act as genetic material, it should be capable to express in an unstable form both structurally and as well as chemically. Is it clear? Molecule, in order to act as genetic material, should be capable to express in a stable form both structurally and as well as chemically. And the next one is, a particular molecule, in order to act as genetic material, it should be capable to regulate very slow changes in the means of mutation in order to induce or in order to cause various evolutionary changes. Is it clear? Molecule should be capable to regulate very slow changes in the means of mutations to cause evolutionary changes. Is it clear? And the last one is, a particular molecule, in order to act as genetic material, it should be capable to express itself in the means of Mendelian characters. Is it clear? Molecule, in order to act as genetic material should be capable to express itself in the means of Mendelian characters. So here, in order to understand this particular feature, here we can take the advantage of one of the common example. So here let us consider one specific gene which is responsible for regulating the shape of the seed. Is it clear? A gene which is responsible for regulating the shape of the seed. So here, once when the particular gene, when it undergoes expression, it should be capable to regulate its own traits or own characters. And here these include, one is the round one and the other one is the wrinkled one. round shaped seed and the other one is the wrinkled shaped seed. Is it clear? A particular molecule, in order to act as genetic material, it should be capable to express itself in the means of Mendelian characters. So here, if one examines each and every one on its own requirement, so here both DNA and as well as RNA, they are having the complementary relationship. So the reason why both DNA and as well as RNA, they are capable to undergo duplication, but whereas protein has no complementary relationship. Is it clear? So the reason why protein does not undergo duplication. So let me write it here. Both DNA and as well as RNA, DNA and RNA are capable to undergo duplication because of complementary relationship. Because of complementary relationship. But whereas protein has no complementary relationship. No complementary relationship. Is it clear? So here a particular molecule, in order to act as genetic material, it should be capable to express in an stable form. Is it clear? A particular molecule, in order to act as genetic material, it should remain in a stable form and it should be expressed in a stable form at all over the time in an individual's life. So here the particular molecule which can be act as genetic material, it should not remain vary in accordance with the age, and even the particular molecule which can act as genetic material, it should not remain vary in accordance with the morphological and as well as the physiological changes. At all that time in an individual's life, the particular molecule which can act as genetic material, it should remain in a stable form. Is it clear? Stability is one of the features of the particular molecule which can act as genetic material. So let me write it here. Molecule which act as genetic material should be expressed in a stable form at all over life cycle, at all over the life cycle of individual's life. Is it clear? So here, if you consider in case of RNA, the particular pentose sugar, here it is termed as what? Ribose. That means in case of the pentose sugar of RNA, there is an availability of hydroxyl group both at the second position and as well as at the third position. So here, because of the presence of extra hydroxyl group at the third position in case of RNA, so here the particular RNA, it acts as a hotspot for binding of many of the oxygen free radicals. Is it clear? The extra hydroxyl group in case of the pentose sugar of RNA, it acts as a hotspot for binding many of the oxygen free radicals. So the reason why RNA is very less stable and it is highly reactive. Is it clear? So let me write it here. RNA has extra hydroxyl group at the second position and it acts as hotspot for binding many of the oxygen free radicals. Oxygen free radicals. So the reason why RNA is highly reactive and it is very less stable, but whereas DNA is highly stable and it is very less reactive. So the reason why in majority of the living organisms, here DNA is the genetic material. And in addition to this, RNA, it not only has the genetic material activity, and even in nature there are certain RNAs which are having the enzymatic activity or catalytic activity. So such specific RNAs, they are termed as what? Ribosomes. So here, because of the presence of highly reactive nature and even because of the absence of stable nature in case of RNA, in majority of the living organisms, here DNA is the genetic material. Is it clear? So let me write it here. RNA also has catalytic activity. Catalytic activity. RNA is highly reactive and less stable in comparison with DNA. In comparison with DNA. And in addition to this, in case of DNA, adenine it base pairs with thymine, but whereas in case of RNA, adenine it base pairs with uracil. Is it clear? So let me arrange the things here. So as already mentioned, in DNA, adenine base pairs with thymine. Adenine base pairs with thymine. But whereas in RNA, adenine base pairs with uracil. And in addition to this, both DNA and as well as RNA, they are capable to undergo mutation. And in case of DNA, because of the presence of a specific protective strategy known as repair, here the particular DNA, it is capable to overcome the particular distortions which are caused because of the mutations. Is it clear? In case of DNA, there is an availability of a specific protective strategy known as repair mechanism. Because of the repair mechanism, DNA, it is capable to overcome the distortions or the damage which is caused by the mutation. But whereas in case of RNA, there is no availability of a specific protective strategy known as repair mechanism. Is it clear? Both DNA and RNA are capable to undergo mutation. But DNA is capable to overcome the damage caused by mutation by repair strategy or by the repair mechanism. But whereas RNA, it has no repair mechanism, right? RNA, it has no repair mechanism. So the reason why RNA cannot overcome the distortions or the damage which is caused by the mutation mechanism or the mutation process. Is it clear? And in addition to this, if we consider DNA is unable to synthesize the polypeptide chain, or protein during the translation mechanism directly. Is it clear? DNA is unable to synthesize the polypeptide chain or protein during translation mechanism directly. So here DNA, it has to depend on RNA in order to synthesize the polypeptide chain or protein. But whereas RNA itself, it is capable to synthesize the polypeptide chain or protein during the translation mechanism. So let me write it here. RNA is capable to synthesize the polypeptide chain directly. Polypeptide chain directly. So here, because of the lack of a specific protective strategy known as repair mechanism, RNA, it is capable to undergo mutation, and even RNA, it is capable to evolve faster in comparison with DNA. So the reason why, in case of certain organisms like viruses, here RNA is the genetic material. Is it clear? RNA is capable to undergo mutation and evolve faster in comparison with DNA. Is it clear? So here from the above discussion, here we can conclude, or here we can say that in order to store the biological information, DNA is most commonly suitable. And here, in order to transfer the genetic information from one generation to the another generation, RNA is most commonly suitable. Is it clear? DNA is suitable to store the biological information. But whereas RNA is suitable for transferring the genetic information. Is it clear? So here all these are the various properties of genetic material, and then after we will be studying regarding RNA world. So here what is RNA world? So let me arrange the things here. And if you consider the RNA world, by listening the above discussion, here a question arises in your mind. What is the first genetic material, either DNA or RNA? So here RNA was the first genetic material. Is it clear? RNA was the first genetic material, and in addition to the genetic material activity, even RNA, it also has some more other additional activities, and these include RNA is responsible for regulating many of the essential life processes like splicing, translation, and even the metabolic regulations. Is it clear? So let me write it here. RNA is the first genetic material. RNA is the first genetic material. RNA also has some more other additional activities. And these may include RNA is capable to regulate many of the life processes. RNA is capable to regulate many of the life processes. And these may include splicing, translation, and even the metabolic regulation. metabolic regulation. Is it clear? And in addition to this, even the particular RNA, they are capable to organize some of the biological reactions which most of the proteinaceous enzymes cannot. And here, the particular RNAs, they are responsible for regulating the formation of peptide bond in between the two successive amino acids during the translation mechanism. So let me write it. RNA is capable to catalyze the biological reactions which most of the proteinaceous enzymes cannot. Is it clear? And here DNA is being double stranded and it is having the complementary relationship. It is capable to resist the various physiological changes by taking the advantage of a specific mechanism known as repair mechanism. Is it clear? DNA being double stranded is capable to resist the various changes by the repair mechanism. And in addition to this, here I need to mention one more other point. So here the particular DNA which is acting as the genetic material, it should be capable to resist many of the physiological changes. So here once when the particular DNA, when it is exposed to the extreme temperature, by that time the DNA, it undergoes unwinding. Then in the same way, once when appropriate conditions, when they were exposed to the DNA, again the particular DNA, it acquires its native structure. Is it clear? So let me write it here. DNA which act as genetic material is capable to resist many of the physiological changes. Is it clear? So here once when the particular DNA, when it is exposed to the extreme temperature, here DNA, it undergoes unwinding. In the same way, once when appropriate conditions, when they were exposed to the DNA, again the particular DNA, it acquires its native structure. So here this is regarding the various properties of the genetic material and as well as RNA world in detail. So here in the next upcoming lecture session, we will be studying regarding the replication mechanism or the replication process in detail. So here I hope that this video will help you a lot. So if you like this video, just hit the like button and share it to your friends.